Hello and welcome to another trading recap with Justin Low Stocks. So today I'm going to go over my trades from Monday. First stock I traded was Coda. So on the daily chart, again pre-market, I saw it was gapping up on my scanners as one of the leading gappers across the whole market. And I looked at the stock, and it had broken out of new highs because this chart goes all the way back to August, and as far back as we could go, the previous high was 660, and as you can see, this stock went all the way up to $10, so it was breaking new highs and on unprecedented volume. I don't know if you can see with my head in the way, but you can see the little top of the green bar here at 10 million. So it traded 10 million shares in this day, and as you can see previously, you hardly see a blip of shares because basically the volume is irrelevant compared to this $10 million day. So that's always a good start when you got a lot of volume trading on the day. So we'll go to the 1 minute chart so you can see my exact entry. Okay, so this was how it was opening up pre-market. It had spiked up around 9 o'clock, and that's when it topped at 9:52, and it fell back down. I wouldn't really count this candle because that's obviously, I don't know, some random seller would have probably caused that. But yeah, so it came back down to around 750, and then it's just been doing this descending triangle, which I spoke about, I think last week I spoke about it. If the trend's following this descending triangle, if it breaks out of this low here, this 730 line, it'll be a definite short. But if it breaks out of this downtrend onto the upside, it's potentially a good long. So once I saw that coming into the market open, that it was starting to hold this area well and looking like it was, going to break out of this point here, I was buying. So what it was doing in the morning, it was, as you can see, it opened at 791, and in the 1 minute candle it ranged from 840 down to 750. So a 1 minute candle ranging 10%, which is massive. But yeah, it just kept spiking up, dropping back down, spiking up, dropping back down. But when it dropped down real sharp, it then bounced back off the bottoms real quick. And same thing with the top. When it spiked up real fast, it then came slamming back down. So there were no shorts available on this stock, so I couldn't short it when it spiked up to catch the downside. But once it fell sharply, I could always buy it when it bounced back up towards that medium level. So that's what I did, because these first two candles showed signs of it. It was like I said, dropping fast and then recovering real quick. So as soon as I saw it dropping real quick, I pressed the buy button up here, which is an automatic buy button for 300 shares on a limit order. So I pressed that, and I was lucky. I got filled with this line arrow, not the solid one, but this one here. I got filled right at the bottom of this candle at 741, and then I think it was 10-15 seconds, because I was saying it kept recovering real quick. 10-15 seconds, it recovered back up to 770, and I just took my profit real quick. I was happy with that 30 cents, considering this stock hadn't yet shown a clear direction. Like it hadn't broken out of this, and it hadn't really broken out of this descending triangle with volume and big moves. It was sort of just was hovering around there, and I didn't want to get caught in this stock if it fell below the 730, because then you'd be caught, especially when I was only buying at 740. I was buying 10 cents off where I was willing to risk. So yeah, so that's why I bought and sold real quick, and it was a nice 4% profit in a matter of, I think, 20 seconds or something. Then I got a bit carried away. I got a little bit overconfident. I saw it starting to put in higher lows. As you can see, it's starting to trend up here, and so it trended up here, it dipped down, and then it was trending back up with these higher lows, and I was looking to buy at the breakout of this previous resistance level pre-market. I was hoping it was going to break this, either test this resistance at 875, or possibly the high of the day, which was 950. However, when I bought it, straight away got stuffed, and it came straight back down, and I sold relatively quickly, not quick enough. But yeah, I sold relatively quickly, so I didn't catch this bad downside move. But yeah, with that as well, I ended up, I think, down $10–15 on this stock, because that one was a 4% winner, then 4% loser. So I was like, yeah, $10 down. So the next stock I traded was MDGS. So this is the daily candles of MDGS. As you can see, it's a recent reverse split, which I was saying before. For example, a company will have 10 million shares available. They'll reduce their 10 million shares down to only 1 million shares available, and then they'll increase their price by 10 times the amount. So you're not your value of your position isn't increasing, but the size of the shares and the price of the shares are changing, but the overall value still remains the same. So with this stock, very clear that it's a spiker. It can spike, 25, 30%, 50% even in a day. 70% there, over 100% there. So it's a good spiking stock. It always spikes, but it doesn't hold its highs. So you got to watch when you do enter. So go back to this 1 minute candle. So this one wasn't spiking up pre-market. It was sort of it spiked up a little bit, sorry, but there was not enough volume where I would be looking at it, because as you can see, like compared to the last one, there's hardly any action on this pre-market. Like there's no, yeah, okay, you got resistance there, but it's not a very clear chart. So I normally avoid trading these ones, but I saw it on my scanners, and as soon as the market opened, it immediately spiked over its 10% within 5 minutes, and it went straight into a volatility halt. Went into a 10-minute volatility halt. So I was looking to see how this was moving when it came out of the halt. It's either going to start and just spike, or it's going to sort of hover around, or it's going to start and then just crash. Well, I saw it opened back up and it was hovering around this level, and I was willing to risk it because, as you can see, the dailies, it is a big spiker, and it hadn't spiked near the same sort of percentage amounts that it has in the past. So I was willing to buy it, but I was setting a tight stop. Again, I got very lucky, because as this was falling, I did my buy button here again, and I again got filled at the very bottom of the candle at 794. I got filled, and then it went straight up real quick to 827. I sold straight away. I wasn't even going to try getting it to the higher price points, because it could fall back just as quick as you see here. So I was willing to just take the quick profits, which was 4.5% return. Again, I think that was 20 seconds or something. And then it came up to the upside here, and then it was starting to drop back down, and I was expecting a bounce. As I always say, once it spikes up real high real quick, it's going to pull back, and then it may continue its move. So as it was pulling back real hard, like, it got to 930, I was buying at $1 off its highs, which for a stock this price is about 10%, which is, for normal stocks it's massive. Penny stocks not so much, but 10% is a lot, money wise. So it fell at 10%, full dollar, and I bought back into it here at 840, and again, as it had its little bounce up to 858, I sold. That one was a smaller return, but still 2%, 2.5% in, again, under a minute. Can't complain about that. And then I sort of like knew that was my I don't want to keep testing out how well this stock would hold up. So I stopped trading it there. I was just watching it, and then when I saw it crack here, I was actually contemplating buying it out of the hole. Like, if it spiked down, contemplating buying it, but it's lucky I didn't, because it fell all the way down back to 630. So yeah, that was that trade. And then my last stock I traded was GENE. So GENE, this is the daily candles of GENE. This was a leading gapper, so I could see on the scanners before the market opened. This was a stock I was watching. Yeah, it's a big mover. It's a big mover. It's been having a downtrend for the past little while. and it's same sort of thing. It's broken out of that downtrend with massive volume. As you can see, over 22.5 million shares. Again, my head might be in the way, but you can see the little bit of green bar up here. 22.5 million shares, and you look in all the past, like the nearest is what, about 5 million, 7 million. So it's traded basically 4 times its previous highs of volume. So again, there's a lot of buyers and sellers. The stock's going to move big either way. So we'll go to the minute candles. Alright, so for this stock, as it opened, I was focusing more on the other 2 stocks, obviously, because I was trading them first. I traded Coda and MDGS in this first sort of 10-minute area. Then when I saw on the scanners that this thing was spiking up, because you see it in the percentage gainers, it's just going up and up and up the list. I'm like, okay, well, this is looking interesting, I'll have a look at it. Once I pulled it up, it was in this sort of area here, in this consolidation area. So it already broken out of its previous day high and surged a little bit. Now it's consolidating. I was looking, because there was a lot of volume and the volume was trending upwards overall, I was looking for this to sort of have either a flat top, which it then breaks out of, or you know, a wedge pattern, which is like this, at the downward angle, and then breaks out from the downtrend. I was looking for either one of those two to enter into this stock on the long side, which we got here. It sort of broke this 169 area, and I bought 1,000 shares at $1.71. So that's $1,700 position. And then it showed it was perfect formation. It didn't even really pull back, so I didn't even have to worry or be nervous at all. It just went straight up, pulled back for a second, but didn't go below what I bought it at, and then surged up again to 177. That was just a nice 4% return on $1,700 in a matter of under a minute. It's not bad money. I think it ended up being $80, $90 trade, something like that. No, it would have been, yeah, $90 to $100 trade, because I would have made $70 US. So yeah, around there. Anyway, and then if you follow me on my Instagram at JLOWE4, you'd see on my story that I was actually going through this pattern as it was happening last night live. I wasn't trading but because I'd already had a nice profit, so I'd stopped after this last trade after I sold there. But yeah, I was tracking this pattern, and I was like, you know, it's showing a good formation. It's holding the support, which is sort of this area, the 169. It was holding that, didn't dip below, and then as the volume surged back in and it broke out of this wedge pattern, which I was just saying, broke out of this descending line, you're looking for a long, which if you entered there with 1,000 shares, again would have been about $1,700 position. Would have surged up within what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes would have gone up to $2. You would have banked what, 240 American dollars, which is probably around 300 Australian dollars. So and I did that live and I was calling it. You can see it on my Instagram if you want. Yeah, so follow me on Instagram if you want to see more stuff like that. I'm thinking about doing it more often, just to give you guys more of an insight on my other socials as well. And yeah, they were my trades for the day. I ended up $220 on the day, so it was good trading for a Monday, and I look to back that up again tonight. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you learnt something. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy these videos, and I will talk to you guys later. See ya.